Hey students, we are going to make our abstract name design. It's going to look something like this, however you want to hold it. And I'm going to just give you the list of supplies that you'll need for this project. You'll need 2 pieces of the same size paper. I chose to make mine square. It's 9 inches by 9 inches. If you have something else at home, even if it's just a piece of printer paper, that will be fine, just so long as you know that you're going to end up cutting up one sheet and gluing it onto the other sheet, so they have to be the same size. Next, you'll need a set of scissors, a glue stick, a pencil with an eraser probably, a black marker, it can be a Sharpie if you want, and then 2 to 3 colors of different colored markers. You could, if you don't have markers at home, you could use colored pencils or crayons, just so long as you have 2 to 3 different ones and a black for sure. And then you'll also need a ruler or straight edge. I did not have one at home. Mine is at school, so I used a tape measure to measure out the types of squares that I will once you cut your paper, and a straight edge. I just used the side of my marker case. That way I can make some nice straight lines. And let's get started. First, you're going to take your pencil and you're going to write your name, but you're going to make sure that you do it in large, bold block letters, or if you prefer, you can use bubble letters, but you just want to make sure that your line when you're writing your name is extremely thick and you're filling up all the space that you have available on your piece of paper. You want to make sure that there's not a ton of negative space left on that around the outside. You don't want to see a lot of white in the background. You want to fill in your entire space as much as you can, and that way you'll have more of an arrangement to work with when you cut this up and put it into a new form. Next, you're going to take your black marker and your Sharpie and you're just going to fill in your name. Next, you'll take your ruler or your measuring tool and you're going to mark off equal amounts of squares or rectangles. Again, my paper was 9 by 9, so I did 3-inch squares, and I'm using my marker as a straight edge. I suggest using a ruler. It's already straight and you can just follow it along and go all the way across your paper from top to bottom, and then you can turn it and then do from left to right, just so that way all of the sections of your paper are mapped out and have equal parts. I will say I won't be a stickler about the size of the squares, just so long as that they're the exact same sections and pieces. It's the same size. This sheet of paper will be the same size as your one other sheet of paper that is currently blank. That way when we get ready for the next step, which is cutting these squares or rectangles out, when you lay them out, you can put them back on another sheet of paper that was originally the same size. Next, you're going to cut them out and follow along the line. After you've cut out your squares or rectangles, you're going to arrange them on your blank paper that was, again, the same size as your original, and you're going to arrange them in a way that kind of looks interesting to you. You're going to make sure that it does not look like the name that you originally started with, and find an arrangement that works for you. Next, you're going to go back in with your black marker or your Sharpie and kind of section off some sections or draw some sections that are closed. So you're going to make sure that there's not all white space connected to white space, meaning filling in some of the gaps. That way when you do go and color in with the colored markers, you'll have some sections, for example, like if you look at the letter D in Dennis, it's closed, kind of a oval or a half circle. That would be one color, and then anything around it will be another color. So you're going to have some closed off sections. Don't be afraid to go back into this, because this is an abstract piece and you just want to make sure that there are sections that have closed off spaces, so that way when you go in with the color will be able to be not just one, but you'll be able to be using the 3 colors that you chose. Once you feel like you've gotten a good design in it, then you'll go back in with your colored markers and fill in all the white space. Be sure to use the variety of colors and you will have your finished piece.